Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Today, in this episode of Hidden Gems, we are actually going to take a look at a set that probably a lot of you have probably come across at one point or another. Is that upside down? No, it's not. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2009 Silver Proof Set. We're going to talk a little bit about this set and why it is kind of not only, I don't know, it's quite interesting how this one came to be. And did you guys check out how thick this box is? This is a very unique set, and we're going to talk about this set right now. Stay tuned. All right, so the 2009 Silver Proof set was kind of an interesting release, okay, for a number of reasons. Okay, the first one, which to some people kind of confuses a little bit, even confused me at one point or another. But in 2009, for some people, it kind of marked the final year of the Statehood quarter program. As you guys know, this was such a huge, big deal to the U.S. Mint and its collector base when they had announced the brand new Statehood quarter program back in 1997, I believe, or 98. It was one of those years. But yeah, the first amount of buzz that came out with a multi-coin, multi-design set that would run for 10 years, it became kind of a really big hot topic at the time. So that series started in 1999 and it ended effectively in 2009. But they did something extra in 2009 right here to make you believe that there was an 11th year to the program. And believe it or not, a lot of people have kind of adopted the territorial quarters as being a part of the Statehood program, where in reality, it was simply just a standalone set at the time. And not a lot of people knew that. You know, people thought that they were ordering kind of like an extension to the Statehood quarter set, where, you know, it kind of was. All right. So, you know, this was a very unique program. This was a very unique one-shot offering. But before really getting too far ahead of myself, I wanted to talk about the composition. Okay, obviously, you know, it does say Silver Proof Set on the box. These are actually 90% silver, all right, with a little bit of copper in there, and that makes up the balance of that 10% for a full composition, which is 90% silver, 10% copper. But yeah, I mean, these things were pretty. They were very gorgeous. The 2009 Proof Set had a total production or mintage run of just over 697,000 sets made, which, you know, even today, it doesn't seem like that far-fetched of a number, you know, considering, you know, the Proof Set production and all that stuff. I would say numbers have probably dropped a little bit. We did just go through the America the Beautiful program. That program is over. I mean, it's hard to believe that this set is 12 years old as of this video. But the territory quarters all started with District of Columbia, then you had Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, U.S. Virgin Islands, and of course the last one out of the group, the Northern Mariana Islands. So this was actually the final set of quarters, or the Statehood supplement program that would be released. So it is 6 coins, whereas the previous 10 years of Statehood quarters that came out in a proof set or just in general were 5 designs per year. So the 2009 set already has a leg up on any other set that you'll see in that it has one extra 90% silver quarter. And that's going to be important when we get to the actual value of the set, and that'll come here momentarily. All right, another thing that was kind of a mainstay within these silver proof sets was that you also had the Roosevelt dime and the Kennedy half dollar that you see here as also being 90% silver as well. So, it wasn't just the quarters that you see here, but you also had the dime and a $half as also that composition. You also had the standard 75-25 nickel composition for the Jefferson nickel. And of course, it's got the new design 2009 S. And then at this point, they had converted the Sacagawea nameplate, which, obviously that is exactly who is on the obverse of the coin. And they had called this the Native American series when they started doing these kind of like unique different reverses on there. At the time, people thought it was a more PC kind of name to use for these coins instead of using the Sacagawea or any other type of name for it. So here's another 4 coins. The set comprises of 18 total coins. It is actually a really big, beefy set. Compared to any other set that's been released beforehand, this was a huge set. All right. So we have that. We have the certificate, which I'll put aside. All right, so this is kind of a unique offering as well. 2009 was the date in which it's known as the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent design. Most specifically, the obverse, where you have Abraham Lincoln, and that's Victor David Brenner's craftsmanship right there from way back in the day. But they also had crafted 4 different reverses for this year. This was pretty interesting because the proof set coins that you receive were all back to the good old school copper compositions, kind of like what we used to see, prior to 1983. So they had brought it back specifically for the set, in addition to the mint sets. I actually have an example of a mint set here that we'll look at as well that also has the copper bronze alloy Lincolns. So these are not copper coated zinc, ladies and gentlemen. Some people have thought that that's exactly what these are, and they just are not. The one thing I will say, the packaging, and I have 4 of these sets, the packaging in these actually promotes toning on these copper pennies. So you're going to see quite a few of these sets with that same kind of like bluish ring around most of the coins. I mean, this one, the log cabin is much more pronounced on here. But this 4 coin set in itself sells for about $10. So sometimes you come across these as being sold separately. And I think the U.S. Mint even did sell these separately as well as their own series or set. And then finally, we also have some of the presidential dollars in here as well. These are the same composition that you see in the Native American dollars and the other presidential dollars as well. They got that manganese or alloy or whatever they use on here. But yeah, this was a design that was not, this 2009, this series has been out since 2007. And at this point, the series fell out of favor, even though this was another kind of like multi-coin per year set. Because at this particular moment in time, people were growing tired of these multi-coin yearly sets like the Statehood quarter program. People were definitely dropping out of favor of that set, and the presidential dollar series just kind of compounded on just what became just a huge mess at the end. And I think a lot of people were highly critical of this series because the designs were just not that good. I mean, sure, they are incredibly patriotic, and they, sometime later on down the road, people will see these for what they are. And, it's just, you got more dead presidents on here, and that's a little bit more than what people are willing to stomach at this point. So that's 18 coins altogether. You guys are probably asking yourself, well, I've probably seen these at a local coin shop or show. And these have been running, if you were going to buy these online, a full set of 18 coins in the silver proof set will generally run you about $60 to $70, all right, which is fairly decent. And the reason why I say that is that you still have all of the 90% coins in here, all the silver, which is kind of like the big selling point of this set. But you know, when you look at current silver proof sets, not including the 999 finds from 2019 onward, but if you went back to, I believe, like 2016 or 17, when they had silver proof sets as well, those particular sets are selling for about $110 to $125, and they don't have nearly as many coins. They still had the same type of 90% silver. The mintages weren't like too far, lower than what this one is at 697,000. But these are available at half the price. I mean, go figure. How can something like this be only half the price when the newer silver proof sets of today are commanding 125 to 150 bucks a pop? It really doesn't make any sense. And that's why I consider this to be our hidden gem of this video. So it's always good to find a set that will have the original box. Now, this particular box, I just pulled this one out of my collection. It's a little bit worse for the wear. Having the original certificate certainly does add a little bit of extra appeal to this. One side of the box is going to be taped shut, while the other one has actually an open flip. And this one's been opened a few times. I ended up buying this, a year ago. I buy these every time I see them. Sometimes I will elect not to pick them up because the market is still pretty robust of these out there. But again, the reason why that this is kind of, it's something that you guys need to know about is that people are paying a little bit more money premium-wise for anything with silver in it. So like I had mentioned, why are people spending $120, $130, $140 on a 2016, 2017 and onward silver proof set with less coins and less kind of like flash? And they're paying literally double the amount of money, and this one right here is still available on the secondary market for half the price. And you get a lot more coins. You get those copper Lincoln cents. I mean, there is a lot to love here. And, that's really what I wanted to talk about in terms of the silver proof set. So if you guys do see these out there and the price is reasonable, I wouldn't pay anything over 70 because the market does not command anything above that currently. There are people actually on eBay asking like 80, 90 bucks for these. You shouldn't have to pay that for the sets. The uncirculated sets of 2009 did include, and I wanted to bring this up, each one of these pennies that you see here are all what they call satin strikes. And that's what they made for the mint sets during the day. They had a completely different look. They had much better prepared dies. And yeah, very, very nice. I mean, each one of these 4 pennies that you see here are all bronze, copper, alloy coins. Okay, these are not copper-coated zincs. So remember that. And they, if someone peeled these out of the set and they have sent them to the bank, of course they'll circulate a little bit. But because of the satiny features on the coins, they're going to be pretty easy to tell. But yeah, that's the regular mint set, and there's a P&D that comes in a set. This is a Denver one right here, and the Denver is red, while the Philadelphia minted coins will have a blue presentation kind of folder. And this is just a regular mint set from 1997. These mint sets will have a red stripe and a blue stripe, depending on the mintage facility. This is Denver. Okay, these all have the copper-coated zinc coins. So 2009 was certainly a unique year where they did produce a different composition penny in there. It is only a 1-year shot type of coin. So if you had bought, say, a 2009 mint set or a 2009 proof set, those will have the copper-coated zinc coins. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're going to shop for these. This is something that I wouldn't necessarily hoard, but it's always a good idea to maybe keep 1 or so of these. I've been a little bit proactive in trying to pick up 1 of each year from 1999 to the current date of both the Statehood and the ETB quarters, I just find that when I got to, the 2010s, those particular silver proof sets have been commanding just a ton more premium on the secondary market. It's a good thing that I was able to buy quite a few of them back in the day when they were still available for $30, $40, after silver had dropped down quite a bit to like $15 an ounce. But yeah, this is a set that is still, in my estimation, underpriced compared to some of the newer silver proof sets. And there's just really no justification for that because there's just so much more value here compared to some of those newer silver proof sets. So, I would certainly jump on it if you do see one and it's reasonably priced. Don't go out of your way to necessarily buying, a ton of them. But that's what I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, is the 2009 silver proof set, a genuinely very unique one-off year of a set with one extra quarter that's all territorial. You got these copper pennies in there, among a few other things. It's really cool, and some would say 2009 was a little bit underproduced because we were in a recession at the time. So that's reflective on the Jefferson nickels that we've seen produced from 2009. Both P and D are the modern keys of the series. All right, so that's going to go ahead and do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Hidden Gems. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you for joining in, and I hope you guys have fun in the hobby. That's what it's all about. It's about having fun because collecting money is a lot of fun. You guys take care. Like, share, subscribe. And I will see you on the next coin video. Coinaholics. See ya.